people were doing it too, but apparently they're not. Maynard just always sounds like he's casting. In the bottom left, down one, it is the blue Protoss Shadown. In the top right, as the red Zerg, it is Namshar, and he is up 1-0. Namshar, a most dependable Zerg. We can depend on him to play macro, and depend on him to win a lot of series. Shadown, I think for a hot second, was a very promising French Protoss when Drogo was still struggling a bit, but Drogo has been really good for a while now. So never quite surpassing that, I guess, benchmark against his countrymen. And now Clem is just, one of the best French players that Europe has to offer, actually. So those French people, they make good Starcraft players. Howdy, 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 howdy. I think my cat is playing with the cork of my champagne bottle. If I had to guess, he's doing something weird. Okay. Refocus. Finish that goddamn bottle right now. For $500, I will finish this bottle of liquid next to me. It might be water. You don't know. I am tipsy, but not like laughing, giggling tipsy, just tired tipsy. The tipsy you get when your friends convince you to go out drinking after 10 hours of working and you're like, I guess I don't want to be lame, and then you just sit there staring off in a space in your corner while they go dance and have fun. Never had that happen to me. Maynard has that booming voice, man. I don't know what to tell you. I am using my diaphragm correctly and not injuring my voice, but yet somehow I can't really... I'm just not as loud. I don't know how to tell you, unless I'm casting. When I'm chilling with my friends, I'm also usually pretty quiet. Although I think most of us can say right? Most of us can say that we're different people amongst different friend groups. Which is why sometimes, like, blending friend groups is really weird. Sometimes I'm the quiet one amongst, like, my personal friends at home. Other times, if I'm, like, with, like, Roddy and Maynard and really big personalities, I'm also kind of quiet, I guess. But then if I'm amongst people that I'm comfortable with, but don't know too much, but I'm the outgoing person, which actually happens, I'm actually probably pretty loud. And funny. I'm not funny compared to the other StarCraft 2 casters, but compared to some of you plebs, I'm actually kind of funny. And then when you realize people are laughing at your jokes, your ego gets bigger and bigger until you make a joke too far and everyone just sits there quietly and looks at you and you're like, oh no. Also never happened to me. Cap the champagne, make mimosas. Oh my god, you're a genius. I can go to the grocery store and buy orange juice. You're a genius. Imagine this ASMR as me stroking your face gently and whispering to you, you're a genius. You already made $100 a day. Did I? No, I didn't. Don't lie to me. Someone keeps eating cigarettes. Fight the cat, he's getting too cocky. Zeke would probably win. He's like hyped up on sugar, man. a booming voice, therefore you must be a boomer. I mean, kind of. If we want to really go into, like, next level discussion about gender and expectations of men and stuff, I mean, it is kind of a boomer thing to have a very loud voice as a man, just gonna talk over everyone else in a business meeting. There's not so many women you can actually say that happens to. So maybe I am. Thank you, Haplo. Thank you, Haplo and Dogs, for the 3 gifted subs. Thank you very much. The man doesn't have enough room in his brain for different modes. That's true. I've seen you interact with different people. They're very similar. Couple drones go down. Shadown apparently went for triple Oracle. That happened. Namshar going for some standard stuff here. Ling Baneling Roach. At one point in his career, he was also a bit of a Roach Hydra player, even as people started to move over more to Banelings years ago, when people didn't realize how OP Banelings were. Kind of like what we saw TLO doing earlier today, but he's adapted, he's gotten better, and that's the thing about Namshar. He's gotten a little bit better every time you see him. Not leaps and bounds, unfortunately, which I think most people hope for, but a little bit better every single time. And this guy was a pretty good European Zerg 6 years ago, casting on base rate TV. And now he's a really good Zerg. Takes a little while, though. Sexy medic or ASMR? I don't see the appeal of ASMR. People's voices, that is, like, specifically. So when I think of doing it to you guys, I actually get really uncomfortable. But I'm sure some of you would really appreciate it. Triple Oracle still doing their due diligence, scouting, and trying to do what they can. Namshar's already on the way to a Greater Spire here. I mean, what is this? What year is this? 8-minute Greater Spire? What the hell? Shadown, I didn't really consider him that much of a macro player, but perhaps too afraid of what the Zerg player could do to him, is just glad he can get to a 4th base and Storm and Archons and stuff. Had never really done an attack. A little bit of a depth harassment does not count. But it looks like he is prepared to... He's accepted his fate, alright? He didn't attack the Zerg didn't attack him. What does that mean? Probably a hive. He literally scouted it. And while he could have maybe tried to do an attack, he wasn't really set up for one. And it probably would have resulted in failure, so... Maybe not, but yeah. I think posturing is usually called for, but it's pretty dangerous to do when you're mostly focusing on those storms and your Immortal Archon count really isn't up there. And he's investing in other things, not just +2 and Blink, but he already invested into Fleet Beacon, Extra Stargate, and Carriers. So he is not going to really have a strong attack. And if he does, Namshar could have just quickly maxed out and ground army and been like, oh, okay. But they both are going late game. I had an hour left in the broadcast, and this is going to beat the game. It's going to be an hour long. Wow. High Templars forced to merge together for eternity because a couple of Banelings are about to kill them. Imagine that. You have like your best bud, your best bro, your High Templar. You both were warping at the same time. Basically twins. You're born at the same time. You see the Banelings rolling in. You both look each other in the eyes, caress each other's faces, and then kiss. Now kiss. Then you become an Archon. Which also, by the way, is that supposed to last past like a minute long because they're balls of energy that can't contain themselves, but okay, whatever, Protoss. Subs are actually the best way to support. I do agree with that. Most streamers would agree. It's a more consistent way to judge your income, which is really nice. And it usually, like, if you're past the 2-month mark, it usually means you are consistent, where donos can be just as random as hell. It also, I think, creates more hype. Oh, that sucks. people are less likely to match like a $10 dono, but they'll definitely match a sub if they're in the mood. You know what I mean? Yeah, gifted subs are definitely really nice too. Unfortunately, they're about as volatile as you would expect. It used to be that if you had a sub, you were basically guaranteed to have that sub. I mean, not really, but yeah, much more than it is nowadays. Twitch subscribers did not fluctuate nearly as much. We also had much more dependable advertising income. Now we get nothing. We get approximately a quarter of nothing. Which is why I haven't even bothered running ads. I do think it's decent to run ads, just to get rid of the pre-roll ads, but yeah. Haven't taken too many breaks today. 9 hours in, 8 hours in actually, and still haven't taken too many breaks. Seen a lot more tier 1 conversions lately. I am a bit afraid that any big hype happening right now is the people still comfortable despite all the epidemic that's going around us, and eventually the economy will hit everyone. So I'm counting my blessings. Thank you guys. Okay, what's happening here? I was reading chat. Zealots and a sentry. Just giving away supply, it seems, to build more void rays and carriers. Namshar on that Broodlord army. This has been the same. I feel like I didn't actually need to cast the past 2 minutes of the game. Am I wrong? I didn't miss anything, right? Basically not. Spore crawlers were made, where Broodlords were made. Archons are sensual. Sensual. Sexual feeling. That song will always remind me of coming to America. Meme! 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 Keck lol! Meme! Meme! Mothership dies. Why even build one? It used to be such an important dynamic where you'd cover your High Templars from being killed by Broodlings, but now Banelings collapse in your High Templars anyways, and it's like, who even gives an F? Should have gotten water at some point in the last 3 to 4 hours. Eh. I can't wait till tomorrow we have sexy smoked a dozen cigarette packs overnight ZG voice. Because she spent 10 hours casting and refusing to not talk nonstop. And also refusing not to get excited. I can't wait. While drinking alcohol and soda. I will sound exactly like that old hooker that lives outside the corner of your building. You know the one that sounds and looks exactly like a Futurama lady. Ducks went down in carriers as well. And the High Templars are like, one day we'll have extra feedback range. And the Vipers are like, well, not now, sucker. Warpism in the main. Surprisingly, a lack of sag defense, if I'm going to be real here for a second. Namshar probably going to be reminded at this point that he should make a lot of sag defense around these very important buildings. Banelings crash into the Zealots, and the next Greater Spire might be a little bit better. Carriers tried to at least clean up something while Namshar was distracted, but I don't think it really worked out very well. No, I thought Namshar was going to attack into there. I was wrong. Continued upgrades to every party. Shadown even going for Resonating Glaives, because why not? TLC Waterfalls. Waterfalls is a great song. Don't go chasing waterfalls. That's actually all I know. Listen to the rhythm of something, something. Let's see here. Who's gonna win when the fight finally comes down to a fight? I'm gonna say Zerg. This might prove why Protoss got some late game buffs. But it's not 100% determined yet. Depends on how the spellcasters really work out. Nice feedbacks, but lol keck, mothership, lol keck. Even without a second abduct, it still died. I mean, why even? He's gonna rebuild it. Duh! It's the weirdest thing, you know? It's like it cloaks an entire field. Time Warp actually not that bad of a spell if you ever get to use it. But it dies! It dies every time! You are trading 400 for an abduct. It is so funny, but yet you still feel the need to get it. No Banelings evolved in this game, by the way, but the High Templar are still being targeted nicely by Namshar. So there's still a going down. Do we have Flux Veins? How do we not have Flux Veins? Gonna build Void Rays, not get Flux Veins? What you doing? What you doing? Flux Veins supposed to be just a little bit more helpful in that late game scenario. Definitely not the most needed spell, to be honest. Upgrade, rather. Flux Veins, not as much of a meme as a Mothership, but still a bit of a meme. It does help, technically, versus battlecruisers and versus late game Zerg, because it means that you are getting more shots of your overcharge, maybe? Zoom in, overcharge, cancel, zoom out type thing. But realistically, what happens more often is that you say, I'm gonna zoom in, kill all the shit, and get out. And they are like, okay, and they escape. And you're like, oh snap, oh darn. And then spellcasters arrive for Zerg specifically. And you're like, well, that's okay, I'll try next time. Parasitic bombs and fungals come down. And you're like, oh, shit. That's right. Void Rays don't really help me against that. That's pretty much what goes down. I almost spit out my champagne. Raven thought, I always thought it was Go-Go chasing waterfalls. It's just especially funny because I imagine TLC just being like the Power Rangers, you know, go Power Rangers, except it's go chasing waterfalls. Lol keck! That one was literally the most useless so far, and neither of the other two were even useful. What? Oh my god. Well, in typical NA fashion, after a long day of broadcasting, ZombieGrub has delved into madness. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Cheers. I'm getting my second win because I've lost all meaning of time and reality, and pain no longer exists. It's only the funniness that is a late game PvZ. Did he stasis trap his own zealots? What is happening here? Those are a lot of changelings. Stasis traps everywhere. Not helping. Free units being killed. Free units being killed. Get your free units here. Storm's trying to help out. Abduct's going every which way. Namshar just splitting against this, and most of those corruptors lived, believe it or not. I do believe most of them lived. But they are very, very low, and the Brewlords did not take the opportunity to skedaddle like they probably should have, but going over the field of Spore Crawlers. Here come the corruptors again, very boldly going into a bunch of Storms and Void Rays. Oh my god, no, Namshar, not like this! One more Storm, one more Archon shot. And all those corruptors would have been dead. That was a little bit dangerous. If I know anything about this game, that's a little bit dangerous. A little bit. But you know what else is dangerous? 27 more corruptors on the way. And while you save a decent number of them, Transfuse is going down as well. Spore Crawler field finally cleaned up, but Namshar has another one. He has more than one Spore Crawler field. 29 Corruptors are here against the 12 carriers and 5 Voiders that are left over, and Shadown is not going to win this game. Shadown, more like Shadow't, win this game versus late game Zerg. GG. Namshar with a 2-0. Very impressive play there from our